I'm becoming increasingly convinced that America is not even a real country, but a satire of a country that other countries watch to, feel better about themselves. Have you ever wanted to go back in time, visit the past, see how people used to live before modernity swept across the landscape, indelibly changing human perspectives? You ever wanted to do that? Well, you can, and you don't need a fancy time machine. The DeLorean doesn't have to go 88 miles per hour to whisk you back in time. All you have to do is go to Mississippi. But I wouldn't recommend it. Yes, Mississippi, the state that didn't abolish slavery until 1995. 1995! 1995, not 1895. 1990 fucking 46% of Republicans in the state of Mississippi want to ban interracial marriage. Interracial marriage. They don't think that people of different races should marry each other. And this is not just something that they personally hold to. They think that it should be banned outright. They want it to be a law. It's not just, I do not want to marry someone of another race, therefore I won't. It's, I don't want to marry someone of another race, therefore no one should be able to marry someone of another race. That's Mississippi. What fucking year is it in Mississippi? I don't even credit them with being up to 4 digits yet. I think it's like 600 AD. Yeah, I think it's like the 7th century, it's the fucking Dark Ages, and that's the only way you can really explain the behavior of Mississippians, if you just say, well, they're from the Dark Ages. But they're not from the Dark Ages. They were born and raised in modern America. You might ask at this point in the video, alright, Mississippi sucks, but why the fuck are you talking about it? They must have done some new stupid shit. Yeah, they sure did. Mississippi is trying to take its number of abortion clinics down from 1 to the only number less than 1, which is... The bill headed to the governor's desk would require doctors working at abortion clinics to be OB/GYN certified and have admitting privileges to a local hospital. The clinic's owner, Diane Derzies, told the Associated Press that all of its physicians are OB/GYN, but only one has admitting privileges. Derzies said that most hospitals will not grant the privileges to out-of-state physicians, and she said her clinic doctors live out of state to protect their safety. Many have been stalked and threatened, she said. Many have been stalked and threatened by thugs. Thugs and fucking bullies who use fear, intimidation, and sometimes even violence to get their way. What is it called again when you use fear and intimidation to affect public policy? What is it called when you use violence to affect politics in your country? What is it called when you try to change things through terror? It's some kind of ism, I think. What is it? Oh yeah, Republicanism. That's what it is. And I'd like to remind everyone that candidates like Mitt Romney or anyone else out there who has designs on a position of power within our government that has an R next to their name, they pander to these fucking thugs. Remember that. It's important. Mean fucking while in the great state of Arizona, which isn't quite as horrible as Mississippi, but hey, it's fucking trying to be apparently, there's an even stupider abortion law that's being proposed, and it has a good chance of passing. Under Arizona's HB 2036, the state would recognize the start of the unborn child's life to be the first day of the mother's last menstrual period. The legislation is being proposed so that lawmakers can outlaw abortions on fetuses past the age of 20 weeks. But the verbiage its authors use to construct a time cycle for the baby would mean that the start of the child's life could very well occur up to 2 weeks before the mother and father even ponder procreating. According to the state of Arizona, if this law is passed, you're a person before you fucking exist. Congratulations! You know, every time that I fucking think I've heard the dumbest possible position on any given subject, I hear one that's even dumber. You know, like, I thought in the abortion debate, the idiots who say things like, life begins at conception, I thought that was as dumb as it fucking got. But I was wrong. Here comes the state of Arizona to prove me wrong. You know why? Because idiots are geniuses at being idiots. You know, because the greatest fucking satirist in the world never would have been able to come up with something this stupid. I mean, what's next? Like, oh, if a woman is not pregnant every single month, you know, like, oh, every month she's not pregnant is a month that she could be pregnant, and that's a life that could exist. So if you're not pregnant, then that's a form of abortion. So, you know, you need to crank out a baby every 9 months. No, you know what? Fuck cranking out a baby every 9 months. We've seen the Octomom. We know that your women's bellies are elastic. If you're not giving birth to octuplets every 9 months, then you're in defiance of God's will. Who are you to defy God? Who the fuck are you? And then when these women have these kids that the Republicans wouldn't allow them to abort, and they're like, hey, you know, I had this kid that you wouldn't let me get rid of, so can I have some money to help me raise it? Then the Republicans are like, whoa, I don't fucking think so. What do you think this is? Fucking Soviet Russia? This is the United States. This is free market capitalism. People need to decide for themselves what's best for themselves. Like, you see how this shit, they're stupid. They're fucking geniuses at being idiots. So to recap, Mississippi has the ability to somehow exist in the Dark Ages and yet still affect modern day America, and Arizona can somehow decide that a human life begins before it begins. like Arizona's law could mean that you're considered a person before your parents have even met. I mean, yeah, it's funny, but it's not funny. It is funny, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? No offense to Arizona and Mississippi, but if I had these temporal abilities, I might use them for something a little bit more productive than, you know, trampling on women's rights. That's just me, you know? You know, Marty McFly, he went back in the past and he nearly nailed his mom, but at least he didn't try to fucking take her rights away. You know what I'm saying? Right? Am I right, conservatives? You know, maybe you could just meet me in the middle on this one and agree that you're kind of fucking stupid, even if you won't agree with me that you're really fucking stupid. The abortion debate isn't really even a debate at this point. It's just Jesus freaks who think that if we're not pumping out as many babies onto the planet as possible, then we're somehow pissing the big guy upstairs off, versus reasonable people who know that that's horse shit. That's all it is. It's just another expression of the biggest ongoing culture war. The war of reason versus faith, fact versus fantasy, humanism versus theocracy, smart versus Republican.